And when Barbara was looking for a set designer, set builder, and somebody said, well, let me introduce you to Tim. So he came and he did some work for her. And when she went to write a check, she said, well, what's your last name? And he said, Morganfield. And she said, are you? And he said, yes. And she said, oh my God, I've always wanted to work with the Morganfield, because Barbara has worked with so many greats. I mean, she worked with all the greats, starting at age 16, but she never got to work with Muddy Waters. So when she met Tim Morganfield, she said, well, yeah, no, I'll just work with this one because it's too late for Muddy. But at least I can say, I have a Morganfield. But we have, Muddy actually, at the top of the pandemic, had 3 sons who were performers. One of them passed over the pandemic. But we've had 2 others out here, Big Bill and Mud Waters. And so Barbara did get to, work with Muddy's sons. But anyway, we want to show you just a little video. We're working on a documentary, actually, and Tim is executive producer. And I'll show you a little bit teaser of a video, of a documentary that we're working on. You'll learn a little bit more about Barbara and the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center. So hit it, hit it, hit it.
Music means everything. Music is medicine. My grandmother, she would get depressed sometimes. And when I was 4 and 5 years old, my mother and father, they used to say, go get Barbara. She can make grandma laugh. She can make grandma smile. And I'd get the broom and I'd pretend like it was a microphone and I'd sing songs. I could barely talk. That's known sing, but that would just crack her up. And that happened on the day she died. She died with music. The rhythm when we walk, the rhythm when we talk, when we smile, it's all metered out. 1, 2, 3, dance. 3, 4, dance. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. It's all iambic pentameter, as my poetry teacher would say. Poetry, it's everything.
I feel so good out here today. Isn't it a beautiful day for Juneteenth?
I grew up in Ypsilanti, Michigan, but we lived in Detroit. My father promised my mother when he went away to Korea that he would marry her and buy us a house. I was born out of wedlock. But my mother couldn't wait. She gave me away. When my dad came home, the adoption papers weren't signed or anything. He found her. He went to the people and he said, she belongs with me. And the guy says, well, I'm her daddy now. He said, yeah, but I'm her father. And the wife of this gentleman said, we have to let her go back to her daddy. He did exactly what he said he would do. He found my mother and he bought us a house. And then came my brother, and my sister. So it was 6 of us all together, and I was the oldest. But the real good thing is, my brother played trumpet under me. My sister played clarinet. Eli Lucky Thompson, who played saxophone with Miles Davis, was our uncle. And he gave my sister a clarinet. She was like 5 years old. My father was a doo-wop. He had his own group, like Sam Cooke, like the Soul Stirrers. And my dollhouse was under the kitchen table, and they rehearsed in the kitchen. My senior year in high school, I won a scholarship, Border Region scholarship, to Eastern Michigan University, and I became the first Black junior miss in Huron Valley, where we lived. And I was singing one of the Beatles songs called Yesterday. Yesterday, all my sorrows seem so far away. And I only stayed there a couple of years before I moved to California. And then I started going to different colleges here. When I decided to make my transition from Michigan to California, I transferred my job. I was working for a finance company that I won't name. And when I got there and they found out I was African American, they found a way to get rid of me. So it didn't matter because I had skills. I had another job. The next day, I just felt really, really good about myself.
Don't touch me.
All the people I knew were in the industry. Johnny Otis, he had a television show and a radio show. And he put me in his band. He nurtured me. I got to record with Ray Charles and they made an album of it. Doc Severinsen. I ended up staying in his band 7 years. We did a blues record. When I learned that I had diabetes and I knew I had to slow down on my traveling, and I lost my first living. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna make me a place where I can have my own shows. And that's how the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center became my little Carnegie Hall. And I noticed that a lot of people in this area needed a little place to perform and show their talent. Come and see how everything is growing together, and we are one.
We ought to stay together.
It's touching, isn't it? If you get a chance, there's a Netflix series. It's an animated series called City of Ghosts. And each 30-minute episode is about a different place in this city. And I think it's episode 4. Episode 3 is Leimert Park. And so they talk about the history of Leimert Park, but it features Barbara, the animated character of Barbara, rolling through the video with her wheelchair. Yeah, she used to roll up and down the streets and in and out of places. Isn't that right, Linda? She was all over the place in that wheelchair, and it's so funny to see that cartoon with her, you know, being a boss. She was a boss up and down these streets. You know that, right, Torrance? Just all up and down. But watch this series, episode 3, if you get a chance, Leimert Park, and you'll see, you know, this center featured as well as the late, great Barbara Morrison. So give a hand for the late, great Barbara Morrison. She always had something going on in this joint. I'd come in here sometimes, and it'd be a full band, full production, and like 6, 7 people in the audience, because she didn't even care about promoting shows. She just wanted to have shows. She just wanted to have music up in here, and she did. She did. So I'm excited to be here. While the TV is being rolled away, we're going to, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our featured artist this evening. I have a featured artist. We have an organization called SWAM, Spoken Word, Art, and Music, which is hosted by Lorenzo. Raise your hand, Lorenzo Words, who's a great poet himself and a great host. And he and his partner, Dennis, actually host a spoken word every other Friday. It's amazing. I mean, the talent that is up in here, and it's a 15-year-old organization, correct? And so they have, major talent that comes through here every other Friday. And that is where I met the great Wildflower, a wonderful poetess, and she's going to come grace us after I introduce her. But I'm a poet at heart. I started as a poet, and you know my first album is spoken word with music. And so I love coming up here, and you should come in here every other Friday night. There's a poster up there, SWAM, and come check us out. And so with no further ado, I'm going to read a little bit about Wildflower. I love that name, Wildflower. So, Miss Wildflower. She is a Los Angeles, California native, and Wildflower began writing poetry as a tool to assist her in her growth, healing, and releasing past hurts. In a world that has become desensitized to feeling, Wildflower gives a window into her world and is open to share and express raw human emotion. Her socially conscious, spiritually uplifting, intellectually stimulating, erotic, and sometimes humorous writings are a call to the love revolution. Her writing style falls under the genres of confessional poetry, erotic poetry, spoken word, and prose. Her nom de plume, Wildflower, is inspired by the New Birth song, Wildflower, with which she intimately identifies. Who knows New Birth? Oh, we got some old school heads up in here. We know New Birth. So Wildflower, please come grace the stage. You look so beautiful this evening.
We always threatening to take each other's clothes.
She's about one of the flyest poets that steps up in here.
Wow. It's so beautiful to see all of you here this evening in support of Karen Morganfield and also the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center. It's been an honor to even ask to be up here and open for her this evening. So I just have, okay. Thank you. Okay. I just have 3 pieces that I want to share with you all this evening. Are you ready for something grown and, put it this way, I almost said that. Grown folks business. We'll just call it grown folks business. Right. Laundry list. For the 11th time, I asked myself why and if something more could have been done to save us. I am torn, lovelorn, worn out, and unfortunately not in the ways that I need to be. Wine glass in hand, I take a sip, and although I have nothing left to give, I thoughtfully go through my mental list compiled by best friends, couples, and random strangers, our solutions, questions, and thinly veiled criticisms. Well, do you ride it? Don't wear those PJs. Put on your sexy lingerie. Yes. Be his piece and his porn star. Don't go to bed with your head scarf on. Keep him well fed. Every morning, give him that head. Great advice, but how does one resurrect the dead? Y'all not supposed to make me laugh. Looking down at my hand, deep in thought, I smile, admiring the sparkle and shine of my rings. Diamonds, symbols of forever, or enduring severe pressure. I am no longer sure that we will weather this storm. He has checked out and I don't want to be here anymore. Too many glasses of wine, 2 full-time jobs, 2 sons, and 2 side hustles, and we've become a kerfuffle of laundry and logistics, groceries, and games. No dates, only family vacays. Over dinner, money is the subject along with other people's issues. I suspect a weak tactic. to skate past what is most needful and most important, us. We go to bed, and we remain trapped in the spin cycle, both with our own laundry list of complaints. Only in this mechanical machinery of this marriage, what has soiled our union never washes clean. Lights out. I reach out, but he's sound asleep. Wash, rinse, repeat. We're talking about grown folks' business, right? I'm never scared. That's one thing about me. I'll say it so nobody else has to. Let's turn it this way. You call me queen, but where is my honor? You call me goddess, so where is my praise? You desire to enter my temple, but you attempt to do so without due reverence. You desire to enter my gates unclean. You've brought me no offering, nothing meet for acceptance. God lives here, and she will have her respect. Bow in worship and give thanks, or you will never ascend these steps. Bring forth your sacrifice, time, commitment, attention, and affection. Then for sure, another voice she will not hear. That's that piece. Okay, y'all said you were ready. Blackberry Merlot. The juicy sweetness of blackberries balanced by the intoxicating depth of Merlot on the tongue. She becomes undone, daydreaming about the taste of him in her mouth, dripping, dripping, thirsty for the only one who can relieve her private drought. He has been on her mind for more than a few days, desiring to know him in the most carnal way. Thoughts of his life movements and the thickness inspire the graceful sway of her hips between them. Imagining the feel of his lips, her impatience causes her levee to break, desire flowing onto the dress she had carefully chosen for the occasion. Brazen and unashamed, though, she does not go back to change. Let him see what he has done to her. Oh, this liaison promises to be everything and not disappoint. In the balance is the desire to please him, tempered with the temptation to tap out, but winner takes all. So she does. Full of blackberry Merlot-inspired bravado, Serpent now freed from its cage, stiff and ready to spill, her every nerve ending buzzing with electricity as he whispered, "You don't know what you've gotten yourself into, girl." What mastery level savagery is he on? He takes his time instructing her in the practice of Karma Sutra. Sword unsheathed, wielding exquisite pain, her face wincing as the pleasure he so skillfully brings. He never tires of twisting, He never tires of twisting, thrusting, or turning her out. Their passion condenses in their skin, sweating her hair out. He repeatedly searches for the end of her. She whimpers, but never wants him to cease the seeking. She craves the crashing of every wave against her shore. Like the ocean floor, she receives and returns until they both are finally spent. A tsunami, combusting of condensed energy, chemistry mixing between them. Satisfied? But slow simmer soon returns until it burns. Blackberry Merlot could never be as intoxicating. Thank you all.
I've been all across the country, and I played in every town, trying to find my baby, but no one has seen him around. And I know which way I'm headed if my baby can't be found. Let me tell you what I did. I spoke to the river, and the river spoke back to me. He said, Bob, you look so lonely, girl. You look full of misery. And if you can't find your baby,